boys and girls. I just wanted to have a little chat to you about a very important day tomorrow called ANZAC Day. You might have heard of ANZAC Day before. It's an important day in Australia because it's when we remember the people called ANZACs, or sometimes you might hear them called the diggers. They are the men and the women who went to war to keep our country safe. Happened a long time ago, and ANZAC Day is a day where we remember them. Now, normally on ANZAC Day, you'll see a parade on TV with lots of people in the parade, and people will be cheering and showing respect for the ANZACs. The ANZACs will be wearing their uniforms and possibly their medals on their chest that they got from the war. And they will be marching along the streets and people will be cheering. You might have heard this music before, which is often played on ANZAC Day. Have a listen. Let me know if you've heard it. Play all of the music now, but you might have heard that before, or you might hear it tomorrow, which is ANZAC Day. Normally when you hear this music, you have to be very quiet because lots of people like to remember the ANZACs, and so when you hear that music, you're very quiet and it shows respect for the ANZACs. Maybe you'd like to have a chat to your mum and dad, or your brothers or sisters or your grandparents, and they might be able to tell you more about the ANZACs. But right now I'm going to read a story called My Granddad Marches on ANZAC Day. Marches on ANZAC Day. On ANZAC morning, we get up very early. It is still dark. We drive in the dark and park the car. We put on our coats. It is always cold. We wait at the memorial for the sun to come up. There are sad poems and singing. We say, lest we forget. A bugle plays a lonely song. Then guns fire at the sky, once, twice, 3 times. It makes me jump and scares the seagulls. I sit on Daddy's shoulders. It's a very long wait, but my granddad will come. My granddad marches on ANZAC Day. Granddad knows where we will be waiting. He always smiles at me. Lots of people are marching. Their legs are moving in time. Some of them play music. I feel their drums boom in my chest. He wears his best jacket and has shiny medals on his chest. He doesn't have much hair on his head, but he does have a big moustache. Some people can't walk. Some are pushed in wheelchairs. Some ride in cars. We clap and wave as they go past. Well done, boys, my dad calls out. They smile shyly and look pleased. Once, long ago, there was a war, my daddy says. Many soldiers fought and died in a place called Gallipoli. Some were from Australia, Some were from New Zealand. They were called ANZACs. They died in places with names like the Neck, Lone Pine and Anzac Cove. Their mums and dads waited, but they never came home. My granddad wasn't there. My granddad was in a different war. That's where he earned his medals. My granddad marches to remember them. Grandad marches with his friends. He remembers when they were young. He remembers when he was young. He marches for all his friends who can't march. He marches for us. After the parade, my daddy says, "I'm proud of you, mate," to Grandad. He has tears in his eyes. Grandad is quiet. He is still remembering. One day I will march on Anzac Day, and I will do the remembering.